Okay, let's start standing. We'll come into temple pose, feet wide. Turn your feet out about 45 degrees. Bend your knees and bring your thumbs on the insides of your legs, fingertips on the outside. Ooh, for some reason today, this just really has more feels. Let's just sway from side to side a bit. Let your hips start to open up. Insides of your legs begin to stretch. Start grounding into your space, getting a sense of the support of the mat below you. And then inhale, drop in through center, round your back. On an exhale, drop your right shoulder in, press your right knee away. Let's do that side 2 more times in a row. Draw in through center, exhale, same side. Again, pull in, exhale, press your right knee out. And then let's draw in through center, exhale, go to the left, drop your left knee in. Ooh, that side always does it. Inhale, round your back. Exhale, think cow pose here. One more time through center. Exhale to your right. Then let's come back to the middle. Now, if you want to oscillate side to side, make this a little bit more free flowing, do so. If there's any other movements here that feel good, a little more sway, that kind of might feel nice just to get grounded. And then begin to straighten your legs. Turn your toes in towards each other. Sweep your arms out and up, broaden across your collarbones. Exhale, slight bend in your knees, hinge forward from your hips, lengthen through the backs of your legs. Keep your knees slightly bent, heart reaches forward, come all the way back up to standing. Let's go through that motion a few more times. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, reach your heart forward as you rise back up. Exhale, dive, long spine, stretch the backs of your legs. Arms out wide, you can press down to rise up. Exhale, fold. Let's come back up to standing. Inhale your arms over your head. Keep your stance wide. Exhale your hands through center. Clasp your hands behind you. Knuckles reach down, slight bend in your knees, heart lifts. And exhale, hinge again from your hips. This time arms come up and over. Really find a good bend in your knees here. Let your neck be loose. Shake your head yes and no. And then perhaps let go of your hands. Grab a hold of your elbows and notice how that changes the stretch from your shoulders to your upper back now. Keep your neck loose. And then release your hands to the mat. Step back into downward dog. Bend one knee at a time. Really lengthen out through the backs of your legs. Ooh. Explore sensations through your hips and shoulders, side body. Just taking a quick check-in to see how you feel today. Without passing any judgments or criticizing yourself for being stiff or experiencing stiffness this day. And then come back to center, find a bit of stillness here. Just setting up in downward dog, finding some stability. Inhale your heels over your toes. Draw your navel into your spine. Tuck your chin. Round your upper back as you roll forward and arrive into plank. Hold plank here for a moment. Hips same height as your shoulders. Press into your fingertips. Lift your shoulders away from the earth while pressing your hands down. Now take your heels over to the right. Keep your shoulders right over your wrists. Gaze towards the top of your mat. Inhale, heels through center. Exhale over to the left. Shoulders still right over your wrists. Inhale back to center. Lift your right foot up. Flex your right foot a lot, like you're trying to stretch the back of your leg. Then place your foot back to the mat. Left foot flexes a lot, same height as your hip. Doesn't need to go any higher. Maintain support through center and replace your left foot down to the mat. Now through plank or knee plank, slowly with control, make your way to the earth. Press your fingertips down, shoulders loop. We'll take a little cobra here. Inhale, reach your heart forward and release. Let's do one or two more. Shoulders loop, come up a little bit higher. Use your back and soften. Tops of feet press down, shoulders loop, back of neck long. Use your back for height until you can't. Then use your arms for extra expansion across front body. Maybe you want to explore looking from side to side. And then soften back to the mat. Tuck your toes, hands under your shoulders. Navel draws away from mat. Through plank or knee plank, back to downward dog. Take a cleansing breath, deep inhale. Exhale, let everything go. Let's do two more of those. Deep breath in. Full release, stick your tongue out. Last one. Now, inhale, reach your right leg straight back. Press out through your heel. Exhale, draw your knee into center. Shift forward. Place your right foot next to your right thumb. Ground your back heel. Press down into the earth. Thumbs sweep forward. Inhale, up over your head. Palms together. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Square your hips. Fingertips press down. Chin draws to chest. Lift the space behind your shoulders. Exhale, reach out through your left heel forward with your heart. Palms seal to the mat. Step back into plank. And exhale, elbows point back. Return to the mat. Fingertips press down, shoulders loop. Collarbones open, expand, and exhale, release. Toes tuck, navel to spine. Strength brings you back into downward dog. Let the breath lead. Inhale, lift your leg. Exhale, hug your knee into center, shift forward. Place your foot next to your thumb. Rotate your right heel down so your heel to heel alignment. Press down, rise up into warrior one. Exhale, hands through center. Square your hips. Big breath in here. Broaden across your shoulders. Exhale, reach out through your heel forward through your left shin. And then step into plank. Slowly with patience. And then easing up with grace, ease. And return to the mat. Press back to downward dog. Breath and movement. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw in. Left heel grounds, press down, rise up, thumbs lead, inhale, arms stretch up above your head. Exhale, keep your spine long as you dive forward. Press your fingertips down, chin in, navel to spine. Exhale, lengthen out through your spine. And then step back into plank. Fingertips press down, shoulders loop, liberating movement of cobra. And then the strength building through plank to downward dog. Left side, inhale. Exhale, hug into center, shift forward, foot to thumb. Ground your back heel. Press down, rise up. Really reach your hands over your head. Exhale, dive. Square your hips. Inhale. Exhale, reach out through your right heel, forward through your left shin. Seal your palms. Shoulders stay over your wrists. And then slowly back to the floor. Peel yourself off the mat for cobra. And then come back to downward dog. Right side, one more time on each leg. Breathe, lift. Exhale, lift from center, shift forward, foot to thumb. Lower your back heel. Shoulders stay square to the front of the mat. Exhale, spine as long as you dive. Now inhale, round your upper back. Exhale, heart reaches forward. Palms to the mat, slowly with strength, stability, and then return to the earth. Shoulders peel, move with fluidity. And then with strength. Last time on the left side, inhale, then move. Foot to thumb. Press down, rise. And exhale, shoulders square, hips square. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale. And then back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Shoulders loop, heart lifts, tops of feet press down, release. Tuck your toes, navel lifts off from spine, whole body in one straight line through plank, back to downward dog. We'll take 3 breaths here in downward dog. So adjust your hands, fingers spread wide. Focus on your breath. This is all you have to do right now. Just enjoy the stability. Just be here. Feel the solid connection between your hands and the earth. And ground your knees. Take a moment in child's pose. Hands can be either in front of you or behind. Knuckles down if that's your option today. Reconnect with your breath. Notice the state of your mind and the conditions within it that affect the thoughts, sensations, feelings that come out of the climate that we create within our minds. And reach your hands back in front of you. Come through all fours. Actually, if you want to just have a seat for a moment, I'm going to do a quick demo of our core work today. So you stay where you are in a seated position and I'll show you quickly. There's a couple of options If core work is just not your thing today, well, let's all first try it. Not right now though. It's so hard to like be able to tell you. I can't see you, so I'm just assuming that you're watching me. So keep your feet above. You'll keep your feet above your hips for the full version. Interlace your fingers, all but the first two fingers. And then on an exhale, we'll reach past our left hip, and we'll do this on both sides. And you're stretching both feet in, out. So you're really trying to lengthen your legs. And then inhale, you'll come back up. And then you'll go past your knee. Inhale up, past your ankle, which is just kind of an energetic past your ankle, not fully past your ankle. If that's a lot to move your opposite foot, then you'll keep one foot grounded and then switch when we go to the other side. Okay, let's all try it. We're going to do a number of them. I'm not going to tell you how many, but I promise you'll be okay. So just take it one by one. Feet over your hips, and notice first if your hips come up. So if your hips are lifting off the mat, then your feet might be too close to your head. So keep your feet right over your hips and flex your feet so your toes really draw in towards you. So you've got this really active system happening here. Find Kali Mudra, first fingers point, and reach your arms over your head. Now on an exhale, lower your right leg, reach up and over to past your left hip. Inhale back to center, arms over your head. Exhale past your left knee. So your wrist is right next to your knee. Inhale, come through center. Keep your legs strong and long. Exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Point past your left ankle. Inhale back to center. Exhale, we're going to switch sides. Exhale past right hip. Press your feet away from each other. Inhale over your head. Exhale, wrist past right knee. Inhale over your head. Exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Go past your right ankle and over your head. We're going to do one more round on each side. Keep going. Exhale past left hip. Inhale, reach over. Keep your legs straight. Exhale past left knee. Over your head. On your exhale, go past your left ankle energetically. Legs together. Now your left leg lowers past your right hip. Bring them back into the center. Feel your center start to ignite. Come past your right knee. Inhale back to center, hands over your head. Last one, exhale, reach energetically past your right ankle. Come back to the middle. Keep your feet over your head. Relax your arms, bend at your elbows. Then bring your feet down to the earth. With your arms over your head and your feet flat, knees bent, lift your hips for an easy bridge, counter stretch to our core work. You can find some easy movement here. Maybe shift your hips from side to side. And then release. Take your hands behind your thighs. We'll roll on your back a couple of times here. Maybe 3 or so. And we're going to come to standing. So if you know you like to roll to standing, you can do that without using your hands, or come through all fours. Completely up to you. We'll all meet at the top of our mat. Okay. Now take your hands to your hips. We'll do a little bit of balance work and a little bit of hip opener at the same time. Shift your weight into your left leg and draw your right knee up towards your right. Actually, let's do this. Keep both your feet on the ground. I'm going to go in a different way. Shift your weight into your left foot, come up into your right toes, and then turn your out from your right hip. So you're kind of like doing this little like sassy person hip stance here, which I really hope all of you are doing this right now because it's kind of fun. So from here, from sassy hip stance, you'll either take your inside of your foot to the inside of your standing leg calf, or you'll use your foot, your hand to get your foot above your knee. So either above or below. Then keep your hips square. You'll notice that if you try to get your knee to turn exactly, even with the front of your mat or the side of your mat, depending upon which way you're standing, that your shoulders come with it. So keep your shoulders square above your hips. And if your knee is not perfectly out to the side, that is fine. That is not necessarily the goal. Let's add a little fun onto this and come to your standing foot. Like just lift your heel, just even if it's as much as you would lift it to slide a piece of paper underneath it. You don't have to come all the way up onto your toes, but just lift your heel a slight bit. And what we're doing here is really turning and activating the insides of your left leg. Ooh. And the inside of your foot, apparently. And then ground your foot. If you lost a little balance there, like I did, that's okay, because there's another side. Shift your hips around a bit. Weight into your right foot. Find sassy person stance over here. Give a couple little hip fluctuations. Tell somebody that they're, I don't know. I can't think of anything both positive to say and do this at the same time. Or maybe it's like, yeah, you go and do that dance move. I think that's all I've got. Anyway, bring the inside of your left foot to the inside of your right standing calf, and then or up above your knee. Hands can be to your hips. Stay here just for a moment. Get the hang of it. Press foot into thigh, thigh back into foot. And then perhaps shift your weight into the front of your standing leg and lift your heel just a little bit. It may not stay up. You're just kind of exploring what that sensation feels like. Activate the leaning tree. Activate the inside of your leg to help keep you lifted, even if it's just for a couple of breaths. And then release. Release both feet. Take your hips in big circles. Oh, yeah. This is the dance move I was cheering people on for in my head. And then come back to center. Bring your feet underneath your hips. Inhale your arms over your head. Lift your heart. And exhale with bent knees. Dive forward. Place your hands down on the mat. And step back into our friend downward dog. Inhale your right leg. Reach back. Reach your leg as high as you can. Let your hip turn open. Press down through your left heel. Reach up through your right toes. Create lots of space between those 2 points and square your shoulders. So you've got a nice long line on your left side body as well. Now exhale, draw your knee into center. Pull in through your navel, shift forward, and place your right foot between your hands. Ground your back heel. We're setting up your Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, heel to arch alignment. Follow your left hand up and over and settle into this asana, this position. Watch for your front knee. It might want to tip in. So slightly angle your hips to the top left corner of your mat so you can redirect your knee to the outside edge of your right foot. Then shoulders square. Bend your front knee. Keep your front knee over your front ankle, or at least close to it. And try not to move your front leg as we find flip your front palm. Back hand comes down, your back leg, as we come into reverse warrior. The tendency is to want to keep moving back, so we straighten your front leg. So keep it nice and bent. Try not to put all of your weight in your left arm. You're just kind of using it there for a little bit of support. So just stay on your fingertips. Gaze could be down. It does not have to be up. It just depends on your neck, what's comfortable for you. Breathe into your right side body a lot. Keep pressing your feet down and apart. Now inhale, come back to center. Square your shoulders. Straighten your front leg. Turn your front palm open. Actually, let's do both palms open to the sky. Then shift your hips back. Shift your rib cage forward. Stretch your arm towards your front foot. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, reach. Maybe you go a little bit further this time. Arms stay parallel with the earth. And back to center. Let's go one more time. Reach, 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 reach. Feel the stretch on the inside of your right leg. And then take your top arm straight up, like you're holding a really big beach ball. This is a really pleasant way to spend a few minutes if you want it to be. The only thing that tells us that it's maybe unpleasant is our own perception of what we've decided pleasant or unpleasant is. So maybe just reframe this as a way to build strength, which is cool and enjoyable, rather than, oh, this is uncomfortable and I hate it because it's hard. One more breath here. And come back. 2 down, or to warrior 2. Now ground your hands to the earth. Square your hips. And step back into plank position. Exhale, pull thigh muscles to thigh bones as you lower down. Tops of feet, press down, knees lift, shoulders loop. Inhale, peel yourself up off the earth. Exhale, release. Hands underneath your shoulders, toes tuck, and back to downward dog. This time your left leg lifts. Inhale, reach all the way up. Press your hands down and forward. Press your right foot down and back. Right heel reaches for the earth. Left toes reach for the sky. Shoulders square. Keep your shoulders supported. Open up through your hips. Stretch the back of your right leg. And then exhale slowly with control. Draw your left knee into center. Lift from center. Shift forward. Place your foot between your hands. Ground your back heel. Heel to arch alignment. Follow your right hand up and over for warrior 2. Let's go through the checklist. Front knee angling towards the outside edge of your foot. Hips maybe need to turn slightly towards the top right of your mat. Shoulders square. And your roots keep everything really solid here. Lift up through the crown of your head. And now take your back hand down your back leg. Front hand open. Bend your front knee as you reach up and over. Keep supporting this back leg by drawing up through the inside of your leg, and your top pinky turns down. Gaze can be anywhere that's comfortable. Remember not to put all of your weight in your back hand. Keep pressing your feet down and apart, and at the same time, pull them together. So you get a really solid co-contraction of your muscles here. Breathe deeply. Focus your breath on the left side of your ribs. One more inhale. And then let's come back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. If you need to click your back foot in, do so. Turn your palms up again. Slide your hips back, rib cage forward. Inhale, glide back to center. Exhale, glide forward. Big stretch of the inside of your left leg. Inhale to center. Exhale, glide, reach, and then right arm reaches up. So you're holding this big volleyball, this big beach ball. That would be the biggest volleyball. Use your strong center to support you here. Keep your legs active. Make sure you're not locking your front knee. Right hand stacks over right shoulder. Both arms reaching out as much as they can. And then use your own strength to bring you back to warrior two. Ground your hands to the mat, seal your palms. Square your hips and step back into plank. Slowly, with strength, control, lower down. And then with ease, freedom, open up in cobra and release. Tuck your toes, press up through plank to downward dog, where you will walk your feet to the front of the mat. Take a bend in your knees, take your thumbs into your hips, lengthen out through your spine, reach your heart forward, and then come up to standing with a straight spine. Okay, now for some fun, take your feet out wide, reach your arms up over your head, exhale your hands through center, hold here. So we're in like a shorter temple pose, so our feet are closer together, but your feet are still turned out 45 degrees. Keep your hips kind of low here. Inhale, arms reach back over your head. Now exhale, hands come down to the earth. Keep your spine long, just like we did when we stood up, and bring your fingertips to the earth. Now you'll rock back and forth, take your hips from one side to the other, until eventually you start to come down and take your time, ease into it, but we're coming close to Malasana or all the way into Malasana. So when I say close to Malasana, if you can't get your heels down, roll up your mat so your heels have something to sit in so that you can move your weight back rather than keeping it into the front of your foot. Or you can always do this pose on your back too if it is giving you trouble with your knees. And it really is not making you any less of a person, I promise. So if you have found Malasana, either on your knees or with your feet on the earth, press your knees into your biceps and your biceps back into your knees. If your feet are on the earth, reach down through your hips and up through the crown of your head, all while maintaining the connection of knee to bicep. Those are the really important actions here. So pressing in, pressing out, and then hips down, head up. Get a nice stretch through the insides of your legs, through your hips. Ooh. And then we just want to spend the rest of class here. Is that cool? Yeah. Oof, I don't know. I think the longest I've ever done this is like 4 or 5 minutes, and that was pretty brutal. I'm not going to make us do that today, but we're going to be here, for at least a couple more breaths. Okay. One more long inhale, really intentional length, long inhale. Same effort, same control, exhale. Now take your hands to the earth, shift forward, press down into your feet to lift your hips, grab a hold of your elbows, and sway from side to side. Keep your knees slightly bent, roll up to standing. Okay, we'll get headed towards our last wave here. First, a little bit more fun. Take your left hand to your left hip and draw your right knee up towards your right hip. Grab a hold of your right knee with your right hand and pull your right knee in towards you to the outside of your right rib cage. This is plenty. This is a lot. And if with your left hand, I'd actually like for you to take the back of your left hand to your sacrum or to the back of your left hip so you get some shoulder opening here. And maybe you stay here, or for a little added fun, you could reach your right arm around your right knee and possibly interlace your hands behind you, holding onto your right knee, pressing down through your left foot and lifting up through the crown of your head. So there's a lot happening here. And one is not better than the other. They're just two different options that create very similar sensations. And then gently release with control. Bring your leg back down. Take a quick hip roll here. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left knee draws up. We'll all start here. Right palm to your back of your right hip. So your shoulder blades draw together. And your left knee is drawing towards the outside of your left rib cage. And even if you're here, press down into your right foot, lift up through the crown of your head. If you're switching, if you're grabbing behind you, finding this bind, you can go ahead, take that option, press down into your right foot, lift up through the crown of your head. Draw in through your lower abdominals. Shoulder blades draw together, collarbones open. And then slowly with control, come back out of it. Few hip rolls here. Come back to center. Press down into your feet. Expand as you lift your arms. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. Dive back forward. Bring your hands to the earth. And step into downward dog. Inhale your right leg straight back. Exhale, take your knee through center, shift forward. Place your right foot between your hands. Ground your back heel, so your heel to arch. And if you have a towel or a strap or a t-shirt or anything you can use as an arm lengthener, you might want to grab that into your left hand. So inhale, come up into warrior two. If you have your arm lengthener, go ahead and have it. And I'm going to show from this side actually. So even if you do or don't, if you know you don't need the arm lengthener, that's totally fine. So the next step would be taking the back of your hand to your sacrum or sneaking your left hand to the front of or to the top of your right thigh. Then flip your right hand, press down into your left thigh. If you have your hand there, reach up and over. Just one breath. And then on your exhale, take your right elbow on the inside of your right thigh. Turn your shoulders open so that you're not facing the ground. And then maybe find a bind here where you've got either your hands clasped or you've got a hold of your arm lengthener, towel, strap, whatever it is. And do give yourself enough length so that you're not turned towards the earth. You can use your elbows, a little bit of a helper here to help rotate your right shoulder, your right ribs more towards the sky. Now for some more fun. Hop your back leg in towards your front foot while maintaining this bind. And you've got a setup here for bird of paradise. So we'll shift the weight into your left foot. And then come up onto your right toes, kind of like we did in our tree pose. And then use the strength of your grounded leg, ignite that inner leg strength to press down and bring your knee up. May have to adjust a little bit when you get there. Find what's comfortable for you. Stay here. This is a lot of hip opener, a lot of shoulder opener, or ignite the inner strength, the inner leg, the inner thigh muscles of your right leg and press your right leg out for a bird of paradise. Even if you just hold it for a couple breaths, press down into your standing leg, lift up through the crown of your head, and exhale, bend, gently release. Inhale your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to center. Take your hands to your hips. Find some movement there. Ease away some of the rigidity, the stiffness that kind of comes out of getting into some of those effortful peak poses. And then let's return to the top of our mats. Reach your arms over your head. Breathe in fully. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Hands come back down to the mat and step into downward dog. Left leg, reach all the way back and up. Exhale, knee comes into center, shift forward, place your foot between your hands. Ground your back heel so you're in heel to arch alignment. Follow your right hand up. If you have your strap, it's in your right hand this time. Arms out long. Find your half bind or bind, so back of hand to sacrum or palm to thigh. Flip your front palm. One big breath, inhale, reach to the back, and then use the length. Exhale, come forward, elbow on the inside of your left thigh. Turn your shoulders open, left ribs rotate. So you've still got a nice long line from crown of your head to your back foot. And then use your strap or find a bind with your hands. Make sure your hips aren't pointed back. So that's what's going to happen if your shoulders are down, then your hips are probably pressed to the left side. You want to keep your hips turned in, shoulders opening up. Use your left elbow to help rotate your left ribs towards the sky. Notice if your hips are high too, you want to try to keep your hips kind of low here, which adds a little bit more effort, but that's okay. Effort isn't bad. And then slowly, carefully, this is where the fun begins. Hop your back foot in. It's all fun. It's never not fun, right? And then shift your weight into your right foot. Come into your left toes. And then ignite your standing right leg to press down and draw your left knee up. This is a lot. So you might stay here. Got to calibrate my own grip here. You might stay here, shoulders open, or maybe extend your leg. Keep pressing down through your right, lift up through the crown of your head, point through your left toes. This is a lot of action through our hamstrings. They not only need to be stretched, but they also have to be strong. And then slowly, with control, release out of the pose. Let your arms just dangle. Let your head dangle. Shake your head yes and no. Grab a hold of your elbows, slight or significant bend in your knees. With bent knees, come up to standing. Lift your arms over your head. Breathe in. Exhale, hands through center. Release your arms out wide. Reach your heart up. And then exhale, hands down. We'll come down to a seat on the earth. Feet in front of you, knees bent. Reach your arms forward and slowly roll to your back. Take your feet as wide as your mat, arms over your head, let your elbows bend. And gently rock knees from side to side. Relax your shoulders and jaw, forehead. Bring your knees back into center. Bring your feet to hip width apart. Cross your right foot over your left thigh. Take your hands behind your left thigh, interlace your fingers. Draw your right shin towards your chest. And I usually need to remind my shoulders to relax here after I make that shift. Bring your awareness to your connection with the mat and the downward movement of energy now. Spent a lot of this class reaching upward, expanding, opening up. Now we're starting to embrace the earth element. Switch the cross of your leg. Left ankle over right thigh, hands behind your right hamstring. Our hips, our gluteus medius muscles did a lot for us today in those standing balance poses. So these outer hip stretches serve us well. Check in again with your shoulders, see if any tension has come back up without invitation. It's the thing about tension, rarely does it come with invitation. Sometimes. It's a certain kind of tension that holds us together. And then release your left leg. Wrap your arms around your shins. Rock from side to side. An Apanasana seed pose. Relax your lower back. Let your hips be heavy. Begin to let your breath invite patience, ease, and stability. If happy baby feels good to you, you could find that. Take hands to the outside edges of your feet or stay in Apanasana. Happy babies still find that slow, gentle, caring rock from side to side. And let's all bring the soles of our feet together. Interlace your fingers. Pull your feet towards your hips. Press your knees away from you. Lengthen through your back. Feel some stretch, some active stretch through the insides of your legs. One big inhale here. And then exhale. Gently release. Extend your legs out the length of your mat. Turn your palms open. Let your feet fall away from each other. For Shavasana, I'll tell you when it's over. Enjoy. Without moving, bring your awareness to the space around you. Bring your awareness to your body by increasing the length and depth of your inhale and exhale. Take small movements with your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Bend at your knees, roll to one side, and pause for a moment, reflecting on your expansiveness, your ability to be open to the joy and enthusiasm that's available, it's unfolding around you. Use your top arm to press up into seated. Bring your hands together at heart. Sit tall with a long spine. Thank you so much for coming today, for yourself, for our community, for the people in your lives who also benefit from your practice. May you and all living things be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with strength and ease. Namaste.